First of all, this section here is where all of our music will be stored. The music can be dragged and dropped into Rekordbox. On the left-hand side is our tree view, and you'll notice here we have loads of playlists available. You can toggle this open and close. You'll also find your streaming integrations down the left-hand side as well, such as Beatport and BeatSource. The collection is all of your music, but for this tutorial we've made a folder and a playlist specifically for the Crossfader Music Pack. In there, we're using two tracks, which is Lawrence James' Good Times and Zesto, Where You Move. These are loaded onto the left and right decks, as you can see by this section and this section of the software. Right at the top, we have the waveforms. The waveforms are just a visual representation of the music across the screen. The waveform visually represents the different sounds.
The fuck?
Sounds in the music, such as the kick drums, or the bass, or the melody, or the vocals. This can be really helpful when starting to DJ because we have something to look at to see what's happening on the music. You also have the overview waveform which runs across here, so you can see the entirety of the song and scroll through it using your mouse as well. Check out our extra video to learn more about making playlists, record box settings, and some useful features within the software. Understanding the hardware is really important. All DJ equipment has a set of two decks, which you can find here and here, with a mixer section sandwiched in between. The mixer allows you to blend from deck 1 to deck 2 back again seamlessly. On the mixer, we have these called line faders. These are volume controls allowing you to bring the volume of decks 1 and 2 down. You also have a crossfader, which allows you to blend from the left side to the right side. Both can be used for mixing in and out. For this tutorial, we're going to leave the crossfader in the center and use the up faders to blend in and out. Above we have EQs, which allows us to take more control of the sound of the music and blend different elements of the music together. You also have your master level here, which you'll need to have turned up to hear the sound out of your master speakers. Speakers can be plugged in on the back of the unit via an RCA cable, which is usually a red and white cable, which then goes to some powered speakers. If you don't have any speakers, you can simply click this icon on the record box software, and that will send the audio out of your laptop speakers. At this stage, we want to make sure the mixer looks similar to this. In particular, this section in the middle, with the crossfader in the center, both of the line faders up, and then all of these settings all at 12 o'clock. With the trim, you can bring a little bit below 12 o'clock. The master level is up to you, depending on how large you want to play it in your environment. The deck section has lots of features available, but the main ones we want to focus on are the cue and the play buttons. The play button sets the song off. When the song is playing, we want to then be able to go back to the start of the song, to pull it back up, find the right point to mix. This is where we would press the cue button. This takes us back to what we call a cue point. If we hold the cue button, it will play the track on that point until we release when it jumps back. If we want to continue playing, we can hold cue, play, and the song will continue to play. Just remember, start, stop. The jog wheel allows us to temporarily speed the song up or slow it down. If a song is playing and we go clockwise, we can speed the song up. If I do this quite fast, we might be able to hear the song get faster. When I stop adjusting, it goes back to its original speed. The speed of a song is determined by its BPM, which is beats per minute. And you can see that displayed on the software both here and here for each deck. This song is at 126 beats per minute, which means there'll be 126 beats within 1 minute at a time. If we want to change the speed of a song, we can use the tempo adjuster, which is located here. And if you come down towards the plus icon, you'll notice on the screen that the tempo gets faster, or go to the minus icon, it gets slower. So we can change the BPM, the speed of the song, using the tempo adjust. Have a listen. I would recommend, as a beginner DJ, you turn on this MT, which is called Master Tempo, and this will lock the key of the song. I would also recommend having this setting here if we click on plus or minus 6 or plus or minus 10. If you find that you've got this on wide, you'll notice the track gets very fast and very slow. So I'd recommend leaving this on plus or minus 10. When a song is playing, we want to try and avoid something called redlining. This is where the song is playing louder than it should be. This might happen if you have your trim control turned really loud. Therefore, bring it down so it's just that on the orange. Headphones are extremely useful for DJs. Once you've got yourself a set of headphones, they put in by the 8-pin jack on the front of the unit. Then to control the headphones, we can use some of the features on top of the mixer. Our headphone level is this, not here. We then have our headphone activation switches, which are the cue buttons here and here. And we also have a master cue button up there. The master cue will allow you to blend what's in the mixer section to the master section using this headphone mix. Now I'd recommend to start with turning all of these off. The song we're going to mix in, you would then have queued up in your headphones, allowing you to preview that song and listen to it. By having this activated and the volume up, you can hear this song, but the audience can't, because they can only hear what's coming out of the master, and that's whatever is playing up at the top here. You can switch between these, and you can have both on and put both headphones on your ears to listen to what both tracks would sound like together. If one track sounds louder than the other and you want to balance between the two, you can turn off this headphone cue, put on the master cue, and blend the master in using this control here. For now, we're just going to keep it set up like this. The songs that are best to learn to DJ with and practice with are those with very obvious structures. You'll find a lot of these songs have an intro and an outro section, and these can be used in conjunction with each other to blend from one song to another. There are also sections within the song, such as a build-up, or a breakdown, or a drop. These all play into the structure of the music, and you'll find that most of these sections are about the same length in beats and bars. This is something we cover more in our to mix between these two tracks, we're going to make sure that the BPMs are set the same. Using the tempo adjust, you've got this one set to 136 BPM, and then if you use another tempo adjust, make sure set to 166 BPM. Then we need to try and catch the timing right, set the track off in time. So we count along and forward, remember? Where you move to mix the next track in. So it's not faded over, when you move again, be out loud. As the track being played with it. Song. Get the time right.
I don't even know which day.
Can't beat it, 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 can't
So you just bought your first controller. Now what? Well, throughout your DJ career, there's going to be a lot of buttons and knobs that you never touch simply because there's a lot that not a lot of people need. But at the same time, there's going to be a lot of buttons and knobs that you touch and use every single session. And in this video, I'm going to go through them and explain them to you, the essentials, if you will. So let's get started. Now, every controller is going to be different, but the overall layout and the functionality is going to be very, very similar. In this video, I'm going to use quite literally the most popular DJ controller in the world right now, and that is Pioneer DJ FLX4. The link, of course, will be in the description if you're in the market for a DJ controller, and that link is an affiliate link that's going to help the channel at no extra cost to you. The first thing that we're going to need to do is to load a track, and that leads us to the first knob and button. So this is going to be different from controller to controller, but it should be very obvious. On this one, I turn this knob to scroll, as you can see on the screen. As I turn it, it scrolls, and if I press it down, I enter into a folder. Then if I scroll down to a track that I want to load and press the load button here, then it loads the track on the left deck here. Now on every controller there's going to be two main sections. The first one is the mixer section, which is the one here in the middle, which is where you kind of like manipulate the track that's playing. And then on either side of the mixer we have what we call the play/deck section, and this is where you play the track that you have selected. So it's the player section and the mixer section here in the middle. And then we're going to move on to the most obvious button on a controller, and that is the play/pause button, and it does exactly what you might think. So if you press it, the track plays, and if you press it again, pauses like this. And then above the play pause button, we have what we call the cue button, and this is a very interesting button. So if you have the track playing, once you press the cue button, it stops and goes back to the cue point, which in most cases is the beginning of the track, like this. Press it, the track goes back to the beginning. Press it, and then the track goes back to the beginning. Now, if the track is not playing and you press the cue button, the track will play for as long as you hold the cue button down, and if you let it go, the track stops and goes back to the point, which again in most cases, and I let it go, stops like this. Let it go, stops. So now, if the track is not playing and you don't want it to stop once you let go of the cue button, you can press and hold down the cue button, and then while holding it down, you press the play button, and the track will continue to play like this. And if I press play, the track continues to play. Then press Q, then it goes back to the beginning. This is a very interesting button. And then to the right of the Q and play button, we have what we call performance pads. Now these go unused for a lot of reasons. Reason number one is that CDJs, the club standard equipment, doesn't have a lot of the functions here. But I'm going to cover a few that a lot of people use a lot. The first one is called hot Q. So press hot Q in your controller. It's probably going to have it, even if it's not the DJ FLX4. This is the most common one. Now, hot Q, once you press it, then if you press any of these buttons at different points of the track, then you can use these buttons now to jump to those different parts of the track. So let's say the track is playing, and then I press here, then here, then again here, and here. Now, if the track is playing and I press any of these buttons, it's going to jump to the point that I have selected here, like this. Obviously, when using them, you're going to use them creatively in a way that sounds nice and not what I just did here. The point here was to show you how they work. And then to remove a hot cue, you press Shift and then press the same thing again, and it goes away. And then the second one that we're going to have a look at is called beat jump. So you press beat jump here, and what it is basically a feature that allows you to skip backwards and forwards into a track in a way that's not janky. So if the track is playing like this, you can skip forward and backwards in a way that's like not too janky like this. Like that. And then here on top, we have the loop in and out buttons. And how they work is basically if the track is playing, you press in, and then once you press out, it loops that section of the track indefinitely unless you press this exit loop button. So this is how it works. In, out. Now that's gonna loop this section of the track indefinitely unless I stop it. then to the right of that, we have the half and double loop button. So essentially you can double the loop or divide it by 2, like this. You half it again, you double it, and that's how it works. And then under all of these buttons, we have what we call the joggle, and this is a modern representation of a vinyl disc. In many ways, it behaves just like a vinyl disc. So if you turn it anti-clockwise, the track slows down momentarily, and then once you